And finally, class number 5 that will explain the development of lesson plan 9, number 9, and which topic is agreeing and disagreeing politely in a polite way. That's the topic of the class. The aim of the class is to learn how to use vocabulary words to agree or disagree in a polite way, politely. And the activities are the following. Number 2, a funny video with 2 different ways of being disagree with someone is shown to students. As I mentioned before, one is polite and the other one is not. Let's take a look. This is the video to introduce the topic. It's a very short video, so let's watch it completely.
What do you mean? What do I mean? Sundays are quite obviously the best day of the week. No way. What?
So you can ask students to pay attention and identify which conversation is polite and which one's not.
Listen, I think
Which one
Fridays
is
are
using agreement
excellent.
vocabulary words
But
or
if you want
expressions,
that
that's a
on
correct way,
Saturday,
polite expressions or
yes,
not,
I mean, but
to
Saturday is
reply
called Sunday, and I don't like Sundays.
with something that probably you're not agree with.
I mean, Sundays are great for relaxing. I don't agree. I can't relax on Sundays because
Okay,
Sunday is
so,
Monday, and Monday
and
is
the
different
second
to Sunday.
video will show exactly the same conversation, but this time with a
You
very,
are
very
so
polite way
wrong.
to reply.
I'm right.
Did you will see now, you will hear now the same conversation and formal English in a polite way.
Oh, I love Sundays. Really? Do you? Yes, I do. I don't agree. In my opinion, Fridays are the best day of the week.
In my
Well, I'm
opinion.
afraid I can't
Well,
agree.
I'm afraid
As
not.
far as I'm
So those are
concerned,
expressions that
Sunday is the
students
best day.
need to be aware
Well,
how to
I'm
use them,
afraid I
when to
don't
use them if they
share
need to
that
reply
viewpoint.
to in a conversation.
I am of the opinion that Fridays are a day
I am of the
vastly
opinion
beyond
that
Sundays in terms of enjoyment, because on Fridays you know that you have a
so
whole
they will for sure they will identify the differences. Activity number 2. As a warm-up activity, a game is explained to students. Debate with them. So the teacher will place just some elements in the class to set the mood and the atmosphere of a boxing ring. Of course, the students must be explained to avoid misunderstandings, and they are asked to generate a debate to agree or not with a topic given by the teacher, but they can support each group will have a leader, and that leader must be at the boxing ring. Okay, but that person can ask for support or advices to the team. For example, asking for or looking for a appropriate expressions, polite words, how to agree or disagree with someone, and that is going to be like a warm-up activity to start a debate. So probably if you have the resources, or maybe you can take these elements from home, you can have their boxing meets, um, a ring, a bell, maybe to pretend that in the classroom just by adding some elements we will have a boxing ring, to make them discuss, of course, in a very polite way. Activity number 3. A mind map is presented to students with examples of polite expressions or vocabulary words to express disagreement. I found also a very interesting picture that you can share to make them understand and introduce the topic. Here you have the picture. Okay, agreeing and disagreeing. Let me make it bigger. And you have here many expressions. You can ask them students to read and to compare. You can, I don't know, in my opinion, you can start covering the topic, the titles, the ones that say agreeing and disagreeing, to make them recognize and analyze which expression belongs to the corresponding group. I agree, I don't agree. I agree with you 100%, I disagree. And you can even make them participate in groups using these expressions. Okay, now to make them work, some topics are presented to students, maybe controversial topics, to ask them to write a paragraph to show their own point of view without using rude language, and instead of that using a polite way with uh, polite expressions that they can use to defend their point of view. And after some time, after some minutes that are given to students, they can share. They can share with the rest, and they can also discuss or find common mistakes. Next activity will be that the teacher uses uh, the graphic organizer, the teacher graphic organizer, to compare some of the paragraphs, the ones that the students wrote, to find possible mistakes. So he will use the following chart. Okay, it's a very simple T-chart to compare and contrast the points of view from students that agree with the controversial topic. Remember that before that you have to ask them to choose one topic for the whole group. You will include at the left or at the right, it doesn't matter, the ones that you consider that are agreeing in a polite way, and the ones that are not, to compare them, the structure, the vocabulary words, the way that the the person is given the point of view without being rude with the other person, and if the parameters of the paragraph has been covered. Okay, and finally, to sum up, they can start working on a short debate with another topic, but this time making sure to use all the tips given by the teacher and provided in these input of the videos and the conversations, in order to have a very polite way to agree, to show agreement or disagreement with a person. And how these activities cover the aim of this class. When comparing and contrasting polite or unpolite words, students can be aware of the different approaches that these words can convey, and the result, of course, that they will produce when talking, when having a conversation with another person. And the skills that are they developing are written skills and oral skills, skills when giving personal point of view. And that's it. That's it to explain and to complete how this class is going to be developed. That is the information for this class. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for my camera resolution. I know that it doesn't look very clear, but that's the purpose to explain each class. Thank you very much.